What is the stupidest way you've injured yourself? Showering at a hotel in a small stall with a slippery tile floor. Bent over to wash my feet. My butt hit the tap handle. I slipped, put my hands out to save myself, and violently slammed the glass shower door open. I bashed my forehead and bridge of nose on the tile floor, had a major nosebleed, and a giant goose egg on my forehead. I don't have bangs to cover that up. I thought I had escaped without the black eyes I expected after bashing my nose, but 2 days later I woke up with deep purple swollen eyelids. Luckily I had packed my seldom used macup to cover the worst of it, and I wore a hat in the daytime. I'm still shocked the shower door didn't shatter when it hit the wall. Threw a grape in the air to catch it in my mouth. It fell on the floor, and I bent down to pick it up and smashed my face into the windowsill. I was in the 4th or 5th grade, but I jumped down an entire flight of stairs. Landed hard and hurt my foot. Walked on it for a day or two afterwards. Turned out I shattered my heel and broke my ankle. Tripped over a storage ottoman trying to jump over it all slick. Got my toes wedged in the latch and broke my foot in 2 places. I live in Minnesota, so I'm used to kicking snow off my boots by slamming my toe part of the boot down on the ground. Well, it was summer, and I happened to get my running shoes absolutely covered in mud, so I instinctively slammed my toes down on the pavement and broke my toes. Drank hot tea lying down. I got out of a long hot shower and noticed a thread dangling off of my shirt, and when I tried to pull it out it just neatly sliced through several millimeters of my finger. It was so minor I can hardly even call it an injury, but getting cut by a shirt is definitely the stupidest I've had. Stabbed myself in the leg with a piece of metal. It was really thin and tapered at the tip, so when you swung it, you would hear this really cool whoosh sound. I swung down way too hard and it went right into my shin. Bad times. I found my dad's EpiPen one day while looking for mouth spray for sore throats. It obviously wasn't what I was looking for, but I wanted to figure out how it worked. I ended up shooting the needle clear through my thumb. I then hid the evidence of my stupidity and never told my mom until years later. Was helping husband replace the bathroom fan, so I was standing on the side of the bathtub. I had this plastic hook glued to the shower wall to hang a loofah on. I went to get down and slid down the wall and hooked my butt cheek to the wall. It hurt so bad, but was also hilarious. I'm in my 40s and this happened recently. I dropped something behind my couch, leaned over the back to pick it up, and cracked a rib. Was in pain for a week. Getting old as hell. I broke a rib by coughing too hard. Carving a stick. Instead of carving it away from me, I carved it towards myself and sliced my thumb open. To try to get a cheap laugh out of my ex, I threw a hammer as hard as I could at a tree. The hammer bounced off the tree, and I turned just in time for it to hit me in the small of my back. Miracle I'm not paralyzed. Held a lighter to my ear to listen for gas flow. Click and there went some hair. Shot myself in the eye with a Nerf gun. I looked into the barrel to see if it was loaded. I was 8. When I was a kid, maybe 10 or so, I had recently discovered that the feet on my prosthetics could be unscrewed and moved into different positions, so I borrowed an Allen key from my dad and took it to school so I could unscrew my feet and show my friends at recess. None of them were as blown away by this as I'd hoped. Pretty sure they were just used to this kind of thing by now, haha. Anyway, the bell went to tell us to go back to class and I very quickly tightened the feet back onto the prosthetics, put my shoes back on, and started making my way back to class. As I was walking with a group of my classmates I started to notice my legs felt wobbly. I looked down, and with every step my feet were turning outward slightly. A normal person would have come to the conclusion, oh, I didn't tighten the screws up enough. But not me. I jumped to the conclusion of holy shit, I can control my feet like a robot. My excitement quickly turned to dread when I realized I don't know how to control feet. Been an amputee since I was a baby and they kept turning until one was pointing sideways. Despite this I kept trying to walk, and after a few more steps the foot just fell off, and I managed to slam the now footless prosthetic down, which jarred my knee and hips, and caused me to slip over, and faceplant into the corner of a cement mini wall, one of those waist-high walls. Being a self-respecting 10-year I started bawling my eyes out, which caught the attention of the new teacher. It's her first day and the only disabled student is in pieces. The foot got thrown backwards when it fell off, with a bloodied nose, screaming like a banshee. She didn't really know what to do, since I couldn't get back up, so she gave me some tissues for my nose, and made a very confused call to the maintenance man asking if he knows how to fix prosthetics, so I can get to the school nurse. Walked onto a manhole cover that was not placed on correctly. Ended up in the hospital and had to have 3 surgeries over 4 months. My friend saw a jellyfish on the beach then kicked it. Like on purpose, and knowing what it was, they had to go to the I was pulling a heavy blanket up, my hand slipped off of it, and my thumb, with a longish nail, went straight into my eye. I'm a welder, I work with really hot steel parts constantly. But I regularly burn myself on the microwave meals I eat for lunch. Riding my bike home in 5th grade slowly alongside my walking friends. Friend, Drew, look where you're going. Drew, no dude, I'm good at biking, I can do it with my eyes closed. Friend, no really dude, look out. Drew, no man, I'm good. Instantly crashes into a parked car, mess up my bike chain, have to drag my bike home in shame, and explain to my mom why my knee and lip are bleeding. Press F2. Thought I could walk my dog on a leash while riding my bike. Dog saw a squirrel and yanked me off my bike. I broke a few bones in my hand. Doc was like, what did you expect would happen? Bending over to pick up a paper bag. A completely empty paper grocery store bag. It was standing upright, not even laying on the floor. I barely had to even bend down to pick it up. Somehow this triggered a cosmic alignment between 2 vertebrae and nerve cluster, because suddenly I fell to the floor in crippling pain, could not get my back straight, and had to crawl to the living room so I could lay on the carpeted floor and try to stretch it out. I ended up fucked up like this for days and had to have physical therapy to slowly work out the pinched nerve. I was basically walking like Quasimodo for a couple weeks. People would assume I was in an accident or lifting some boulder like Hercules or saving a child pinned under a car. But nope. I was undone by an empty paper bag. When I was a kid we had blue carpet in the living room. I had just watched some movie or show where the characters jumped into a painting and I started thinking maybe if I believed really hard, the blue carpet would turn into a vast ocean. So I climbed up on the recliner and swanned up into the floor. I was a dumb kid. I wondered how much it would hurt if I whacked myself in the head with a hammer. It hurt a lot. Not me but my best friend. She tried to iron her pants while wearing them. Don't forget to consider the idea to maybe think about potentially subscribing. Peace.